Well, it's a good thing I sneezed right before I started this video. Um, so let's see, what was my low, my high, my act of kindness? Well, my low, pretty simple, was well, actually, I can't really. Well, actually, there is sort of one low, but I'm not going to be. I'm not really going to be that. I'm not going to be that worried by it. And that's my brother was supposed to call me last night, and he never called me. I mean, admittedly, because he was supposed to call at like 9:45, and that's right around the time I go to bed, and at that point I was already out cold. So again, it's fine. It was not meant to. I guess it just wasn't meant to be for last night. And before anyone asks, I checked my phone, and he didn't call when I was asleep. So yeah, I was. It's weird. I've actually been getting fairly closer and closer to a full 8 hours of sleep. Not that it wasn't like a drastically small amount. I mean, the least I would do is like 6, whereas lately it's been like 7 over 7.5. So it's not like I'm getting myself completely devoid of sleep. But when I wake up, man, I'm awake, but I just don't want to get out of bed. I just feel so. Oh, actually, last night was one of those instances where I actually felt so cold, I had to put on a set of warmer pajamas. And throughout the middle of the night, I actually got to be so not so incredibly hot that I was uncomfortable per se. But I'm like, okay, I gotta take these off or I'm just not gonna be feeling very well later. So I had to change into my old pajamas, and then I went back to bed. But the problem is this happened at 3 something in the morning. So the fact that I woke myself up at that hour means that kind of hard to fall asleep, and hence why I am tired now. Right. Let's see. My high, well, had some family time yesterday, which is quite nice. For dinner, we had tacos. Yes, we celebrated Taco Tuesday. So, that's awesome. And, not really, the tacos really weren't all that, extravagant, They were all soft shell tacos, so like the tortillas. My mom took I've talked about this as a mom food triangle before. Tortillas to make soft shell tacos or burritos. My mom cooked the ground beef, put Old El Paso taco seasoning in it. And nothing beats Old El Paso, man. Nothing does. There was shredded cheddar cheese, diced onions, some tomatoes, lettuce, Old El Paso taco sauce mixed with salsa that she had in her refrigerator on hand. And it was nice. And here's the thing, I really love tacos. I really, truly do when my mom makes them. Anywhere else can forget about it. Unless the place I'm going to is like true blue, like Mexican style, like you actually have a person of Mexican origin making these tacos for me, then I don't want to hear it, okay? Because here's the thing. No, Old El Paso is nothing like that, but my mom made it and I can trust her, okay? I can trust her not to poison me. So that's the difference. I'm sure that if I went to a family's dinner and they were having tacos, I'd be happy to oblige, and I'm sure they'd probably be good, but it's just one of these things, guilty till you're proven innocent. But yes, yeah, tacos last night, nothing extravagant or fancy. Actually, one thing I wound up doing that really does work is my mom will get these they're flavored waters, but unlike seltzer, they actually have taste to them. Okay, so she gets those, and one of her favorite flavors is lime. She'll actually squeeze lime juice into that and drink that. And she had a giant thing of lime on hand, so I used that lime and squeezed lime juice over my tacos. That was incredible. I'm like, holy cow, this actually works. This really works. I mean, because it's one of those things I see in movies and TV shows all the time. But you never really think but you never really have seen it in real life. And then you try it in real life, you're like, oh man, this is why did I not do this sooner? So that was awesome. My act of kindness was I'd actually beaten my mom to her place before she did. And she'd actually called me and asked me because she had to get the stuff for the tacos. And she wasn't sure what else, my parents need in their house. So I told my mom, okay, listen, I'm pretty sure you have this. I'm pretty sure you have this. I would say you go get some of that. Stuff like that. Save my mom the grunt work by driving all the way back to her place, and then going to the store. So I in a way, instead of cutting out the middleman, I was the middleman. Okay, I've ran on long enough. Good morning and happy Wednesday, everybody. It is hump day. It's happy hump day. Happy hump day. Oh, yes. Well, this week's going, funny enough, I actually kind of forgot what day it was today. I actually thought today was Thursday for some reason. Not that far off. Thursday's tomorrow. What could be said about today? Well, for starters, yesterday I figured out that who tomorrow's Hot Ones guest is. It's some guy who was a king of a bunch of queens. I'm only kidding. Tomorrow's guest is Kevin James. I actually know who this guy is. And, he's he's one of those comedians, big guy, kind of uses that to his advantage a little bit. It is really funny. And, after the movie Hitch, which is an awesome movie, by the way, he just hasn't been in that many great movies, which is a real shame because I like the guy. How many of the terrible Happy Madison movies has he been in? And yes, Paul Blart Mall Cop and Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 are two of those Happy Madison movies. Seriously, the second one had a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. It was awful. Before I knew better, I actually did see the first Paul Blart in, movie theaters. I didn't really find myself laughing all that much. I only went because I really do like Kevin James. Man, someone, give him a good movie role, please. I want to see him do stuff. He never does anything. It makes sense because, I think he has, family to take care of. Which, is nice. You could say he's a Family Guy. Huh. Maybe they ever did a live-action Family Guy. He'd make for, be a bad choice for Peter Griffin. But, he was on The King of Queens. He was on Hitch, which I just mentioned. He's been in a lot of bad Happy Madison films. Again, sadly, I can't really say he's been in, much else other of, note. Which is a real shame because I really wish he did more. Maybe he's going to try and go the Ray Romano route where he'll be in movies, but they're going to be high-end, indie sort of movies that are really meant to win Oscars and be great. I use Ray Romano. Ray Romano was in The Big Sick, which is a fantastic movie that I highly recommend. I actually saw that with my mom and dad in the theater Because actually, I'll never forget this. It was either before or after Wonder Woman came out, and I had seen promotions for The Big Sick because I like Camille Nanjiani, and I'm constantly looking up my local movie theater, and I'm like, holy cow, you guys are going to get The Big Sick? I gotta see this movie. Because at the time, The Big Sick had like a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. I wonder if it still holds up. Hold on. Let me see. The Big Sick. Yeah, it still has a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. Sweet. And again, Ray Romano was in it. He was awesome. My mom was actually having a blast watching, because ordinarily this really wouldn't necessarily be the kind of movie she'd watch, but she really liked it. You know, I could hear my dad leaning over to my mom like, yeah, like this movie? She's like, yeah, I do. Actually, no kidding. This was the very first time that I took my parents to the local movie theater, and they had just installed recliners. It was awesome and extremely comfortable. So, yeah, I think that's what, Kevin James is going to try and do. He'll be in really, when he gets to the latter half of his career, he's going to be really, really great stuff. Oh, right. Another great movie Ray Romano was in was The Irishman. What score did that get around tomatoes, actually? Let me quickly look that up. Irishman movie. Okay. 95. Huh. That's the second movie that starts with IR. It's pronounced ire, and it's a 95% Rotten Tomatoes. The first one being, if I am correct, actually, I want to make sure I say this correctly. Hold on. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, both The Irishman and The Iron Giant have 95s on Rotten Tomatoes, and maybe someone really liked The Iron Giant again, because now The Iron Giant has a 96. I'm just recommending all sorts of great movies for you guys today, aren't I? Okay, so I guess with Kevin James being tomorrow's Hot Ones guest, again, there's plenty of room for potential speculation as to, what we're going to see. I guess for starters, Sean will most definitely ask questions involving, being on The King of Queens, which a lot of fans of that show are going to appreciate. There'll definitely be a question or two involving his stand-up career. How the pandemic has affected doing stand-up now. What does he think of streaming service devices? Any memories on set for anything he's ever done? So, ballpark area around those. My question is, the only other thing to speculate is, how far is he going to go until the sauce gets him? I mean, I think he may get to, let's be honest, the bomb gets everybody. So if he goes completely crazy at the bomb, I'm not going to be remotely surprised. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how, I got a message. I think, it should be a very interesting episode tomorrow, to say the least. I can guarantee you that. Man, this is actually really nice time today. I talked movies, talked about tacos, talked about seeing my parents. Yeah. And, again, the only other real downer that happened yesterday was, I didn't talk to my brother, but, it's fine. Brothers mess up all the time. They messed up long before my brother and I were born. And future brothers, and keep in mind, I mean siblings. Well, actually, doesn't really, brothers can really mean anything. So, you know what, yeah. Brothers could, brothers are going to be screwing up long before, long after, my brother and I are gone. So, yeah. This is a good day. And hopefully it'll be even better. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on the social platforms. Remember, if you guys need to, my very humble made this video for all of you guys watching for today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful hump day. And remember, if you guys want to talk to channel, we're going to be here to let you know. So, back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.